Welcome guys to my channel. I'm AmorAntasia, and this video has been prolonged for 6 months. And some of you guys have been DMing me. Some of you guys who don't have mothers anymore, unfortunately. So I'm going ahead and putting this video out here. But I just wanted to talk to you girls, younger girls of course too, and give you guys some tips and advice on your protection. These are my basic tips for hygiene 101 and sun. Like, you're just gonna keep going out there. So if you need to, you can pause the video, go get some popcorn or some nuts or something, and then resume. So for my first tip, I would recommend you girls that are 18 and older to definitely visit a gynecologist or a nurse practitioner, someone who can give you professional help. You definitely need a pap smear at that age, and it's not just because you're sexually active or not, because I wasn't sexually active at 18. So pap smears are a must for you girls who are 18 and older. I would definitely recommend you to go see a doctor or gynecologist, or you could go see a nurse practitioner. Sometimes they're cheaper, or they have clinics also in certain areas. Whether you're sexually active or not, there are still things that go on in our bodies that we may not be aware of or we're not used to. For example, when I was 19, I believe I had a cyst, and I thought it was like nothing. So, even though the nurse practitioner recommended that I actually go into more extensive appointments to actually see what it was, I didn't want to because I was going back to school and I just didn't have time to. But eventually, within the next 2 years, it turned completely into, I guess you could say, a tumor. It was basically a cyst that would not dissolve on its own. Cysts are little clumps. They're not always little though. They're like basically clumps of tissue that just dissolve naturally within our bodies. They could be anywhere in our bodies, but specifically women have cysts on or near our ovaries or whatever. The one that I have was actually attached to my ovaries. So I did have to have surgery and have it removed because I was lazy and I let it progress. So I just would recommend you to get checkups at least once a year because, for cervical cancer prevention and, any other, if you are sexually active, any STDs or anything that you may have, it's just good to get a check on that. Next tip, drinking water. You have to drink water for your body to carry out its daily routine activities. This includes balancing your pH, especially in the vagina areas, and also filtering your kidneys, which is basically like flushing your kidneys and purifying your urine. I mean, it's not really pure because you can't drink it, but it makes your urine clearer and your skin and smelly free. We're going to talk about that too. Drinking tons of juice and sodas and stuff like that will cause you to get a urinary tract infection. Seriously. Like, I've had it and it was the worst. So you will need to drink water to balance those things out. And if you can help, try not to drink as many sodas. Also, plain Greek yogurt has been a really good source of antioxidant and probiotics in that it supplies us with the good bacteria that we need. I know a lot of people think about bacteria in a negative way, but we also have good bacteria. It's called flora. We have it on our tongues, we have it down there, and then we have the bad bacteria. Well, the good bacteria fights the bad bacteria. So we do need to replenish ourselves with the good bacteria, and Greek yogurt is one of the sources. And it's actually tasty. And if you want to, you could take supplemental vitamins with probiotics or just regular vitamins. I actually do take, I used to take the 1-a-day vitamins for women, but I like to take the Flintstone Chewy vitamins. Yes, I'm grown, but I'm also afraid to swallow pills. So if you're just like me and you hate pills, take the vitamin Chewy. Okay, so this tip may seem weird, especially for you freaky women or whatever, with the husbands and the men's. I have learned that when I wear silk panties or even silk undies in general, whether it's shorts, that thing sweats so bad. And it becomes like a must type of sweat that I'm just not here for. I'm not. And so I just prefer to use cotton panties because I don't know what it does. I guess it absorbs our body sweats better, but it just makes me feel much better. Now, to be honest, here's another tip that you may not feel comfortable with. Of course, when you're off your period, I would suggest going commando, sleeping in the nude. It frees your body. I'm serious. Like when I take off my bra, I feel like a whole weight has been lifted from my soul, you guys. And I sleep like a baby. I see my babies sleep all day because they're naked. Like it's bliss. I'm serious. Now just keep a blanket, you know, nearby, a fur or something in case there's a fire and you need to like run out of the house or the apartment or something like that. But you know, I'm just saying, in general, sleeping nude frees your vajayjay. It airs it out. And especially like when you're wearing like really tight panties or tight underwear, shorts or whatever, it can cause ingrowns. And you don't want those bumps because they're full of pus and they sincerely hurt. They hurt like crap because every time you close your legs, it like burns, like it hurts. Like I've had them before. So trust me, this tip may save lives. Okay, so for my next tip, number 5, your vagina. This debate right here is probably like the most debated on when it comes to the vagina. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I've had the best few days of my life with a non-smelly vajayjay, but I'm just being honest. In general, the vagina does have a scent. Real men will tell you this, like, you know, they just will. And now I'm not saying that it's a nasty smell, but it's more of like a natural smell. Like if you've ever had that, I should not gonna go there, but you know, if you've ever smelled like your own discharge, it kind of has its own little scent. And now if it's smelling like foul, like Hennessy, girl, you might have a urinary tract infection. Like I had one of those and it literally smelled like Hennessy mixed with all kinds of like liquor. And I was just like, what in the world is that inside of me? You guys, I've had a whole lot of stuff happen to me. I actually left with a whole tampon. Back to the subject. It does have like a subtle smell. Now, it shouldn't be funky, but it shouldn't smell, I mean, I'm not gonna say it shouldn't, but it's not gonna smell like a bed of roses. I'm just saying, it's just not going to smell like Victoria's Secret Enchanted Apple, girl. It's not. But what I would recommend you to do is eat healthier, especially fruits, because you are kind of what you eat. So if you do eat, you know, like they say pineapples, that does probably sweeten the taste of it, but see, nobody should be down there tasting that anyway, right? Yeah, so we're not worried about the tasting, okay? We're just worried about the smell, the olfaction, okay? Google that. Okay, yeah, I forgot I'm a biology teacher, so I kind of like to use the regular terms, you know, for it. So anyway, but basically, it should smell neutral. It does have a neutral smell. Now, if you want to make it smell better, I would not recommend you to put something in there. Like, don't put like a perfume spray in there because your vagina, the whole lips and the whole, the everything about it, like on the outside, the exterior is very thin. The mucus layers are very thin. So, well, the skin layers are very thin. So you don't want it to absorb any toxins or anything like that. And that may actually irritate it or infect it. So I try to use, like, if I use a scented soap, I use it like topical, like on the top. So I have like a feminine spray. It's like a powder spray almost, and I just spray it like far away, but like I let it go down that way, and it's kind of like baby powder or something like that. Now, it's not thick at all, but that's how I would apply it. Never inside, because you can throw off your pH and you can cause an infection somehow. So with fragrances, just, you know, use them topically. Try to stick with natural oils like that, things that aren't, you know, infectious, because the vagina cleanses itself. I mean, think about our menstrual cycle. That's just a process of our vaginal walls literally sloughing off and cleansing itself. So basically only a regular soap is needed for cleaning the inside. If you're going to clean, like not the inside, but just the outer inner part, that makes sense. Like just where the lips are. If you want to run like some natural soap down there just because you want to feel better, then you can do that. Especially if it does have like a cheesy smell to it. You probably have been eating a lot of pasta and cheeses. Pizza, junk food, Doritos, and it smells like that sometimes. True story, true story. Speaking of bad foods or junk foods, my next tip for number 6, avoid greasy foods and like onions and stuff like that if you're really particular about the way that it smells, or if you're grown and you're married, the taste part. Like let's just say, you know, your husband is about that life. Well, you don't want to consume a bunch of greasy foods and stuff because it will smell like that. and it probably will taste like that. And yes, the pineapple and the fruit myth are both true for the most part. Tip number 8, definitely try to drink natural juices like grape juice and cranberry juice when you're on your cycles, and in general. Cranberry juice is good for our blood. That's what I was told by my doctor. And of course, you know, during antibiotics, when you're taking those, they recommend you to take cranberry juice. So I've already mentioned this, but this is tip number 9, to sleep without underwear or, you know, really tight clothes, or sleep in like a loose t-shirt or a loose pajamas, basically, so that you can let your vagina air out, to avoid ingrowns and yeast infections. Even for you girls who wear super tight pants, do not wear those, because I'm telling you, when you wear super tight clothes, you will get a yeast infection. Comment below if you've ever had one, or if you know that this is true or not. Matter of fact, make sure you guys comment other suggestions as you're watching, or as you know, as you finish the video, for the other girls, because there's so many that I've forgotten about, so, or I may not know about them. So please comment below to help the women in the community. Tip number 11, use virgin coconut oil to exfoliate for ingrown hairs and also for the scars. And you can also use it as a shaving cream to prevent ingrowns. And also African black soap. The key to getting a pretty vagina is definitely exfoliating. Exfoliating as much as possible. You can make your own brown sugar scrub, or sugar scrub in general, or you can buy a scrub and it may work for you, you know. But exfoliating will really help clear up those scars, or acne scars as they look like. So for my next tip, number 12, always choose unscented tampons. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine, she's a gynecologist. But no, she's actually an OBGYN. Same. Whatever. Like, all together. She tweeted me that, you know, she tweeted me a good tip about that, because they have some, like, I know that people say that tampons have toxins, but it's not. Some tampons were made of toxins as far as the actual plastic that surrounds it, but not the actual tampon. But today they don't even use those chemicals. But when you're using scented, that could cause infection. And so that's why I would just, like I said, always avoid, anytime something's going inside of you, just avoid the scented tampon. For those of you who wear pads, I would change pads very quickly. Like, do not let blood just sit on top of it, because it's not necessarily the actual blood that drips from us that stinks. Trust me, I've tried it. Like, I didn't eat it or anything. No, like, no, don't think that. I know what you're thinking. No, I didn't do that. But like, it's been like on my leg or my hand, so I've smelled it. Like, I love to do that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm a biology teacher. That's what I do. Experiment. So it doesn't stink at all. But when you let it sit on something, a surface or panties or whatever, and it sits and it mixes with the atmosphere, the air, and nitrogen, all that other stuff that's in the air, it stinks and it smells like fish. That joke is sincerely true. The fish joke, yeah, that's literally what it smells like. It smells like hair glue and fish eggs. It stinks. So please, and here's the crazy part, even if the pad doesn't touch your panties, like if the blood doesn't go through the pad and touch your panties, that stench smells so strong, it's still gonna follow you. So you're gonna have to throw the whole pants away, girl. Throw them all. I'm just kidding. Don't let me get your tail whooped and your mama done spent $50 on your pants. Don't throw them away, but just wash them thoroughly. So with that, just make sure you guys change often. And even panty liners, make sure you change your panty liners quickly. But like I said, to avoid that, you know, that's why I wear tampons, because I feel like they're more convenient. They can last for up to 8 hours, depending on the absorbency. I always get Super Plus. I don't like to leave them in there for 8 hours, but let's say if you're an Olympic swimmer or something like that, and you know, you have to wait that long, that's the maximum. But I would recommend changing them every 3 to 4 hours, or maybe, like, honestly, about 5 hours. But it depends on your flow. Sometimes, especially in my early 20s, I had a regular flow, but like mid-20s, it kind of got heavy. So it just depends, like, you know, depends on your flow and the absorbency. You know, if you're a light flower, then, you know, you can get the regular, and it might come out dry after like 4 hours. But sometimes if you bleed heavier, it may be full within like an hour and a half. Now, sometimes when it's like your first few days, it's going to be heavier. But with that, I would say to Like, you never have to worry about leaving it in there, because once a tampon gets full, whether it's with urine or whatever, it's going to come out. Like, once you urinate, it's gonna like just plop out, and it's gonna be so painless, no pain whatsoever. And sticking them up, even I like the Super Plus, and I have no issue with that. And my thing is so tight. Like, she's very sensitive. Like, seriously, very sensitive. So trust me, if I can take it, you can. Okay, tip number 14, use baby wipes. Now, never throw the baby wipes into the actual, like, never flush them down the toilet, because they are not flushable. Even if they say that they're flushable, they will not dissolve in that water, in the sewage, and you'll mess up your septum, and your mama will probably whoop you like mine did. So make sure that you throw them, dispose of them the proper way, tie the bag tight and throw it out. Never leave wipes in the trash can for more than 2 days, because flies and fleas will get to it very quickly. But yeah, I love baby wipes. Like, even the regular feminine wipes, I found some from Dollar Tree that I really love. Let me know, comment in the comment section if I need to do another video on like the actual products that I use for hygiene. But I got this from Dollar Tree, and this is the bomb. Like, this stuff should be worth like 20 bucks, because it smells so good and it lingers. It has like a powdery smesh. What is that? It has like a powdery fresh smell, and it's definitely hypoallergenic, which means that it doesn't give you allergies, or it doesn't give you any allergic reactions, and it doesn't throw off your pH. And this is for sensitive skin. This is the Huggies. Yeah, I'm childish, but who cares? These are from Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree also has the feminine wipes that match with this one. So I like them for the front and the back. Now, here's the thing. You never wipe from back to front. So once you're wiping your butt, never go towards the vagina. Never do that. You're gonna get that fecal matter, which is feces, which is boo-boo, girl. You're gonna get that in your vagina, and you don't want that to happen. That's going to be all bad. You can get infections, and you can die. Not really, but don't do that. So I just wanted to scare you guys. But use a separate wipe, one for the front and one for the back, or 2 for the front, 2 for the back. Sometimes when it's really wet down there, because I have that wet girl problem, it's not really a problem. In my older age, I'm actually loving it. But seriously, no, don't complain about that, because there's going to be a day that we're not going to go there. Okay, so if you are that type though, you may need to use a few more baby wipes to get that, discharge, together, and then just wear a panty liner to, avoid getting it on your pretty panties. Now, tip number 15, last but not least, if you're extremely musty, try to use men's deodorant, like unisex. Also use this feminine spray, because this is bomb. It gives you powdery fresh everywhere. Now, if you're excessively musty like that though, still, you might need to get that checked out. But let's just pray that it's just regular mustiness. Last but not least, if you see any weird or abnormal changes in your body, whether it's inside or outside, please go seek help. Professional help. Don't go to your baby daddy's cousin's little sister cousin Tracy, because Tracy doesn't have a doctorate degree, okay? You need to see a professional, a nurse practitioner, or a doctor. Especially if you have excessive bleeding on your cycles. One time I bled for at least 1 whole month. I had to drink so much cranberry juice. I thought I was dying. Like, I really had a lot going on. I was like 22, I think. So yes, and that was related to like birth control. And comment below if you guys want me to talk about birth control complications. And this is supposed to be part 1 of a 3-part series. So comment below if you guys want the next 2 series, or what I should talk about next as far as hygiene. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please comment with any suggestions that you may have. Any of my doctor friends who are watching, please give us some more tea. Thank you guys for watching again. Make sure you thumbs up this video if you found it helpful, so that I can make another video. Let's say if we get this video to 500 likes, I will create another part 2. See you guys, and thank you for watching.